Hi everybody. Welcome to something that's gonna be a little bit different. I know a lot of people are gonna find, oh, you're doing this type of content again, but why aren't you actually play the game? I don't like Warzone. I mainly am just doing this for the sake of needing background gameplay of something, and it's the best game that I can do it with. Or this is the best game I can do it with because it requires me to use about 5% of my brain. We splat. I forgot I have self-revives. Oh, you can respawn even though I'm in resurgence. Okay. We splat.
We lost that one, but we'll get a W next time.
I forgot that they've made this a whole lot more of a pain.
Squad's active in the field.
But yeah, we're going to be doing some spectating of Resurgence quads, which I know is weird to be doing quads as opposed to solos, but there is no solos Resurgence. So we're going to be going with this, watching some gamers play Warzone, and I will at least try to stick with the same team. I will try not to stick with the same player, though. I'm going to go see what Brady is doing, because Brady seems like it's going to be a little bit more of a... Brady's AFK. Below next player. Okay, it is just Brady alive. Well, looks like we're moving on to the next team. Basically, I want to talk about a couple things because... well, Brady is dead. And they're playing as a shitty character anyway, so it's fine. Oh, Edmund respawned. Okay, good. So the players respawned fast. Good. But... yeah, I want to talk about a few things just because it's been a little bit since I've done like a proper, like, at least in my opinion, like a real update related video. They're getting shot at. There you go, hit the ground. Hit the deck. But I just I've been feeling, again, I kind of mentioned in the past couple of videos, but I've just been feeling so out of it, especially just due to my sleeping problems. And I definitely am saying it contributes to it, but I'm not saying it's entirely that fault. But it's been hard trying to be able to do a lot of the things I want to do when it comes to content. Like, I'm obviously reaching out to more people. Literally, as we were recording this last night, I literally did was part of a stream with a couple of other VTubers and stuff like that, and having a lot of fun. Leave the company. You may see that footage in the near future. I can't guarantee anything. I have still a bunch of Leave the Company footage that I'm sitting on with Evie. Maybe I'll ask Evie to edit the collab stuff. I don't know. Obviously, like I said, no promises. But, yeah. On top of that, I have a lot of... I have plans for that for my birthday stream, because as of this going up, it should be like a week. It's really next Wednesday. And it's certainly going to be something, basically. If you don't know, I usually find the time frame from like the best I can describe it, I usually find the time frame from like November or like October-ish all the way until February to be very not great on the mental health side of things, but last year was actually the first year I actually felt at least decent. And this year I feel a little better. When it comes to my birthday, obviously I'm going to be turning 25. Obviously you guys can't hear game chat, but hearing the game chat is always great. But yeah, like I'm usually very not on the fence. I'm usually very kind of neutral when it comes to doing things like celebrating my birthday, because I always associate with negative memories, stuff like that. It's part of the reason why it's part of the reason why, if you don't know, a lot of the games that I used to play a long time ago, I don't play that much anymore because I associate with the negative memories. So, like, the reason why I have such a pessimistic view of games like Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, I guess to an extent Marvel 2019, but I just actually despise that game because it's not good. But a lot of older games, hell, even Skyrim started to kind of hit this to a degree. To a degree, I still occasionally play it and enjoy myself, but it's mainly certain things. If I'm not doing like a lightly modded playthrough, or I'm not doing like a new type of playthrough, I usually get very antsy. But typically, it's different. But it's like, generally speaking, I usually don't like doing things that remind me of bad memories. Like, example being, I don't like really doing things like play Black Ops 3 customs that much anymore, both because I don't have the really good PC space to be able to play it in general, as well as I just associate Black Ops 3 as a whole, not just customs, with a lot of bad memories. Especially when it comes to, especially customs nowadays, because obviously a lot of people I used to play customs with, I'm not on speaking terms with anymore, or I'm not talking to anymore. And it's not that I want to have more friends that play customs, it's that most of the people that I used to play some of these games with, I'm not on speaking terms with anymore. And that definitely adds to the overall feeling of how I feel when it comes to certain games, and just how I mentally have been doing about certain games. But I think a good example of this as well is, just generally speaking, I haven't been doing many Easter egg runs outside of the first completion or so, because I usually would do completions with the same group I always would do after I do my first initial completion, or it would be, that first completion would be with them and we would run it multiple times. Similarly with like Destiny, obviously Destiny's a little bit of a different story, because generally speaking, the game is in a very weird place for a lot of people. I haven't done any raids on Destiny because no one wants to do them. And it's not because the game's necessarily bad, it's because no one's interested. People have been not interested in the most recent season. People haven't been interested in new content. Obviously, with a lot of the weapons from VOG being reprised, I think we'll probably have some more people doing some VOG runs, which means I get to do more VOG runs, which means I get to not get the exotic because I already have it. But
Station prices are adjusted.
you also have situations where, like Warzone, for example. I actually, for a time, I did like playing Warzone. I've always preferred Caldera. I always thought Verdansk was one of the worst maps ever designed. Urzikstan is definitely not the worst, but it's definitely not great. Al-Mazr's pretty bad. But I always hated Verdansk. Urzikstan is definitely not the greatest. I've already said that, but like, a lot of the negativity that I have when it comes to Warzone comes from these diehard players who like say, oh, the game should just go back to the way it was. Like, no, because by going backwards, you don't realize you're going to be adding on to more problems and basically removing all the improvements that the game has done. The game is significantly, in terms of a gameplay standpoint, not a cheater standpoint, in terms of a gameplay standpoint, in a better place than it was in 2019, 2020. A lot of people will say, bring it back to the Marvel 2019 engine. You mean the engine we're currently on? There is no new or different engine. It's the same IW engine. It's just a different variant of the same engine. And a lot of people say, well, bring it back to that variant. No. That variant is slow. It's clunky. It's boring. And it has nothing going for it. A lot of people don't realize that we have made such good advances in these games, and people refuse to admit that we've had a good year. This is one of the best years of Call of Duty in terms of multiplayer content, zombies content, albeit the Tomb's a weird gray area right now because for a lot of people, but I still enjoy it. But still, like, it's just one of the greatest years we've had of Call of Duty. And yet, the Warzone community is having the biggest problem because the fact of, not only are they just having a bad time with cheaters, the way the game plays has just changed so drastically that people don't know what they want. I've seen so many different takes on Twitter, even though I really don't use that much anymore. I occasionally will check it just to... mainly use it for game updates, because not every single like developer is on a platform that I use more frequently. Follow me over on Blue Sky, Instagram/Threads, and all the other social media description below. If you try to follow me on Twitter, I have my Twitter locked because of Mr. Twitterman's bullshit. But yeah, like every time I go on Twitter, it's always somebody complaining about a new thing. But then I go on Twitter the next day and people are complaining about the opposite. It's like, this isn't just the problem with the COD community, it's a problem with every single community. But it's like, I feel like it's the most vocal in the COD community because this game is so huge next to like Fortnite nowadays. Where it's like, people don't know what they want, and the people who do know what they want don't know what other people want, and they think that they're the minority when in reality they're the majority when in reality they're the minority and all that. I think a perfect example of this is like looking at Overwatch, because I'm a firm believer of games like Overwatch and Marvel Rivals coexisting, because both games have their own different things. For example, Marvel Rivals is, I would say, is a lot more arcadey while still being competitive, but that competitiveness isn't from, like, is different. In terms of Overwatch, there's a lot more competition in terms of team building and actually trying to make a team that works very well together, while Marvel Rivals is competitive is not just from team building, but it's also from strategy. Like, there's a lot of different strategy going on in Marvel Rivals, at least that I've noticed, that makes it significantly more fun than any other hero shooter I've ever played. And it's part of the reason why I still like the idea of the coexistence of the two. Because on one hand, I like the more, not slower pace, I like the more semi-casual experience that is, my Xbox is going to sleep. The more casual experience that is Overwatch, and then the more hyper-competitive focused Marvel Rivals. And then sometimes I like doing the inverse. Sometimes I want to have a casual time on Marvel Rivals, and then other times I want to do hyper-competitive focus on Overwatch. Both of them can coexist without ruining the other's existence, you know? And I like that we have more games like this. A lot of people say, well, why weren't you that way in X Defiant? X Defiant literally advertised itself as being better than Call of Duty. That's immediately where it's like a thumbs down for me. Because, one, you're advertising yourself as being a competitor to Call of Duty while having all these devs that are, like, supposedly ex-COD devs, and then your entire format of how you do things is not only the exact same as COD's, if not worse, or is worse than Call of Duty's in every single way. Like, a lot of people say, oh, but it doesn't have skill-based matchmaking. Yeah, and look how that turned out. People hate the matchmaking. Had to hate the matchmaking on X Defiant because it felt too one-sided. It's like, because when you have the skill-based matchmaking system that we've had in COD for almost 2 decades now, actually over 2 decades in COD 4, then, you know, it makes sense when the game just works. You know? When the game just works, it works. Also, I forgot that's what the Master Camo effectively looks like in this game. In Modern Warfare 3. Good lord. But that's the thing with, like, a game like COD. Is you look at a game like COD, and then you look at the stuff like just overall matchmaking, and people are going to complain about it no matter what. Even though it's the same matchmaking system that we all grew up with. If you play Black Ops 2, same matchmaking system. You play Black Ops 3, same matchmaking system. You play Modern Warfare 2, same matchmaking system. Anyone who says it's a different matchmaking system and they've been doing it differently, one, you did not read the blog post that they did about it, and you're lying to yourself. Or two, you vehemently don't care that developers are screaming at you saying, we don't do this thing, and have evidence that we don't do this thing, because you are just that angry and just want to cause annoyance and anger to so many people. That's the thing that drives me mad, is I hate seeing communities go after devs for no good reason and coming up with excuses to hate devs. Like, criticism is one thing. So, for example, I'm actually going to leave match. I'm going to go do another round because I still want to talk a little bit more, and this is a little bit shorter than what I didn't expect it to last as long. But things like, perfect example of this is, again, is things like the Ricochet issues and people getting shadow banned, as they've been saying. They've just straight up said that they don't put people in like a suspension-based system if they're getting spam reported, and if anything, if people get spam reported, then they don't. Then the people who are spam reporting are the people who are getting in trouble, not the other way around. And then you also have stuff like, you have stuff going on that's similar to like, also, you have like main thing is shadow ban. That's the thing I see a lot of people talk about. It's like, oh, they need to get rid of shadow bans. Oh, this and the other. It's like, no. If you're getting shadow banned, it's not that you're getting shadow bans at all. It's that you are being put into another skill bracket because of the way the matchmaking system that has been in place for 20 years works. You're being put into a new skill bracket, and it feels like you're not being put into a new skill bracket. That is on you, not on the devs. Because, here's the thing, everyone has bad games. I always try to be as honest as possible when it comes to the ways when I play games. I try not to cut out bad games unless it is like, I'm using a new weapon and I don't get to actually use the new weapon. I very rarely actually do I very rarely actually cut out bad games. And if I do, I usually will say, I had a really bad game that game, I'm gonna do another one. I never purposely try to hide the fact, use all of my good footage. Do I like highlighting good footage? Absolutely, who doesn't? If you have a good game and you want to pop off and tell people, and show people, go ahead. But don't be dishonest about it and be like, oh, all the matchmaking sucks, I can never have a good game. The only reason why you're saying you have a bad game is because you want to roll on people who are like me, who play the game casually, and you want to sweat your absolute butt off and just ruin people's days. That's all you want to do. Has nothing to do with the fact that, oh, you're being shadow banned. It's like, no, you got into a higher skill bracket and you're running into people who are the same skill level as you, if not better, because you had one good game, because you had a really game where you absolutely popped off, and instead of saying, oh, I'm shadow banned because I'm being put into games of cheaters, it's like, no, you're being put into games of cheaters because the fact of these cheaters have a higher skill bracket than you because they're cheating. Think of it this way. Think of it this way, right? Imagine you're watching somebody like, think of your favorite Warzone streamer, right? And they have a game where they pop off, and they're playing quads, and as a team they get like 30 kills. They alone got like maybe 15 to 18, right? I need to jump off the thing. Maybe they got like 15 or 18 kills across their entire team, and everyone else got maybe 4 or 5 each, right? And then they go into another game and they're running into cheaters. But they didn't run into any at all during the entire time that they've been playing. I'm going to give you one very easy solution to that. Because they did so well, that skill bracket of the person who did really, really well that game brings them up higher, and because if you're up higher in the list of players and you happen to be encountering people who are cheating, it's because those people who are cheating had a really good game before you and weren't banned yet. And thus, if you report them, if people are reporting them as they're supposed to do, which is just go, like, I'm going to do an example of this person, I'm not going to actually do it. Go there, say whatever they're doing, and then press send report. Simple as that. Do it once, then you're done. And then you can just leave the game, or if you want to spectate it for the content, like I usually do, you can. Obviously, this person's not cheating. I think they're actually a little dog, actually. But you get the idea, right? Like, it's not even anything related to... It's not even anything related to the people's skill level. It's related to the fact that people... Well, actually, it is related to people's skill level. It's just the fact that people are saying, oh, skill-based matching, yeah. That's like, no. No. It's because you're doing good at the game that the game is trying to reward you with being against similar players, and because you're doing so good you're being matched against cheaters, that's technically your fault, not the game's fault. Well, it is the game's fault to a degree because it's matching you against people who are the same skill level, and it just so happens that the people at the same skill level are also cheaters, and those cheaters are also being put into your games, and they're not being banned, so yes, that's their fault. But being put against players who are absolutely sweating against you and they're not cheating, that's just your fault because you're playing against better players. The game realized, oh, you did good that game. You've been doing good actually the past few games. Let's reward you by putting you in a similar skill bracket. It's like, this applies to almost every single shooter. Imagine, think of it this way. Imagine you're playing a game like Valorant, right? And you have someone who's in like the top ranks. I think it's like, what, Iridescence, one of the higher ranks? Or like Champion or something like that. Better yet, let's do one that I have a little bit more in tune with. Let's say we're playing Overwatch. And you're a team of like low silver, bronze. Maybe you have a gold person in there at one point who's kind of fell down to high silver. And you get put up against a team of top 500. Does that seem fun for either team? Because, yeah, the top 500 gets to roll the people who barely know how to hold their controller or hold their keyboard and mouse. But then the people who are holding their keyboard and mouse don't want to play the game anymore. People on the lower ranks don't want to play anymore because they're being rolled. Does that sound fun? At all? It doesn't, does it? Think of it this way if you were doing it in COD. If you do that exact same thing where you have somebody like, let's say the top 4 best... Think of the top 4 best Warzone players right now. And you put them against me, Evie, and 2 people who have barely played this game. Right? I at least have some mechanical skills, so I'm not saying like, oh, I'm gonna do absolutely awful. But a single Warzone nerd, a Warzone sweatlord who basically breathes and swims in this game. Ow, I'm deaf. A person who basically breathes and just consumes nothing but this game every single day for like hours and hours and hours. They're going to roll a team like a team that I would be playing with. That's just how it is. Think of it this way in Fortnite. Let's say you're really high rank in Fortnite, and you go up against an actual bot player who barely knows how to hold their controller. You're gonna immediately kill them. Believe me, I would know. But it's like, it drives me mad. And it's like, well, why do you interact with that stuff? I don't. It just it comes across my Twitter feed and it drives me mad. It's why I'm glad Call of Duty hasn't really spread to Blue Sky yet, because if it did, I would lose my mind. Thankfully, I have threads and Instagram to do that. And even though a lot of people say, oh, well, if you don't like Twitter, why are you using Instagram? Because I have friends who use Instagram and not Twitter. That's the reason why I still have it on my phone anymore. Anyway, I've gone off track with the original point I was making. But good lord, the footstep audio. Good lord, that footstep audio is not only amazingly accurate, it is awful. I barely heard it until it was basically right on top of them. Anyway, the best way I'm going to kind of describe how I've been feeling a lot recently when it comes to games is I'm not bored, it's just that there's nothing to do. And I think Modern Warfare 2019 is part of the reason for this, because every single time I want to do anything, I'm like, I'm not progressing. I am not getting a reward out of this. I am not progressing. You know? That is a child. It's like, at least in Fortnite or Overwatch, like, I can progress my battle pass. I can progress this. I can progress this thing. I at least feel like I'm progressing something. In COD, yeah, I have my camos, but once I'm done getting the camos, there's nothing. I could hit level 1000 when it happens when I hit level 1000. I progressed all the way to the max level. It's why I hate the idea. It's why I really was upset that they were gonna go basically have a level 1000 cap. It makes me hope that either A, they give us the ability to keep going past that, even though I know people have barely even hit level 1000 as is. I think there's only a small handful of players who have. Either give us something to do past that, or give us something else to grind for. Give us something like give us something similar to what they did in Modern Warfare 3 with the XP-based camos. Or, dare I say, the one thing Modern Warfare 2019 did right, give us something like Obsidian to grind for. Give us a camo. Hell, I'm actually going to say this, and it's going to sound like a masochistic thing to say, since I don't play Warzone, I'm not going for that camo. Give us something that will, give us a camo, or something. Give us an operator skin. Give us anything to show that we went above and beyond the Call of Duty, Lamau, both to the death and the pun. We've been above and beyond just to get all 3 mastery camos on every single base weapon in the game. On 33 different weapons, right? Let's say we did do that. I think it would be cool to have that, because it gives those grinders something to go for that isn't just slamming their head at a wall doing the same thing over and over again. I'm not going to be doing a round 100 at all. At least I don't plan on it, unless there's a map that's like so brain dead easy, and I happen to do it by accident. I don't have the attention span for round 100. The only way I'm doing round 100 is that if either A, I'm streaming, 2, I'm watching, like, Supernatural, which I now realize it might be going off Netflix, which will make me very sad, or I'm watching some sort of TV show that has a lot of episodes and I have a lot of time to burn. Or like anime, for example. You get the idea of what I mean? It's like there's nothing. I feel like there's nothing to do. And the first breath of fresh air that I've had was Starfield. I was playing Starfield a crap ton, like early on at the like midway through the year during like the summer. When I was still working at my old job before I have the one I had now. I almost said the company. I don't want to say the company name. For the sake of not necessarily protecting that brand, but for the sake of protecting me. When I worked at my old job, I was playing Starfield a crap ton. I was still playing all of my other games, but it's like if I wasn't playing COD or Destiny or whatever, I was playing Starfield because it was my nice turn my brain off, go have fun type game. Nowadays, and it sounds bad, I don't have a game outside of like Starfield that isn't this is not for content. This is a sit down for me type game. Like I have Breath of the Wild that I've played off and on that I'm still like playing, trying to beat, because of being bullied. I have Starfield, obviously. I have tons of games, but it's like I always hate doing games and playing them for myself, when in reality, I want to make content on them, but I don't because some of these games are so big. It's part of the reason why I haven't done any more Persona 5, is because Persona 5 is such a huge game that it's not that I don't want to continue to Let's Play, it's that I don't feel comfortable doing it because it's so huge. That's what she said. But yeah, basically, just in summary, I feel like playing games right now isn't worth it. You know, it's like it's not that there's nothing to grind for. It's that I don't feel the passion to play games right now. But at the same time, it's like I don't have the passion to do anything else. Like, I wanted to do more streaming. I want to do more streaming and editing. It's like I have no passion for that because I need footage to edit, and I need things to play to edit or to record. And it's like there's nothing. That's why I'm actually enjoying trying to branch out and play different genres of games for the Let's Play stuff. That's why I do it. It's because maybe I'll find that game that I can actually dedicate more time to do stuff like 100%er. Like I've uninstalled it to make space for more games to record for the channel. I was making a good, decent dent on doing the Fallen Order 100%. Because both for achievements as well as doing the 100% all collectibles type thing. I'll be planning on doing the same thing with Survivor. I plan on doing the same thing with games like Below Zero as well, because I want to try and get all the achievements on that game. Hell, I've been playing Black. I've been enjoying playing some more old school games. I'm hoping to maybe do more in the future. I'm hoping to do more games like Crysis, like more smaller trilogies. I know we'll be doing BioShock this year. I'm going to try to. Half-Life. I got Half-Life basically for dirt. Because of the anniversary. I have games on my PC that I actually can play now. I'm going to minimize OBS so hopefully it doesn't break. I'm going to just so I can go to my desktop here. In terms of games that I downloaded, I have Portal 2 on my PC, I have Terraria, I have Half-Life, Undertale. I have a bunch of games on my PC that I can play now. Obviously, I have EA and Team Fortress and Lethal and Counter-Strike 2 and stuff like that I can record and play. I'm not going to be doing videos on all of them, but if I just go to my Steam alone... Let me go to my Steam real quick, just so I can pull this up. Well, I don't plan on doing any content on it. I have content warning. I want to do more Among Us. I want to do more Apex, obviously on console, not on PC. Gary's Mod, obviously Half-Life 2. I have a couple of games on here, like obviously Phasmophobia on console as well. I want to do VR chat. I want to do so much. I want to do so many things. Hell, even though I don't play Fall Guys so much anymore, I want to branch out and do Fall Guys again. I thought Fall Guys was decently fun. But there's so much I want to do, and there's just nothing to do. You know, it's weird.
Gas is inbound.
I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. I have so many games I want to play and not really much motivation to want to play them. That's the best way I can try to say it. I have so many things I want to do and no motivation to do so. And it's not like I have no motivation at all to do anything. I like getting up and going to work and earning money so I can be able to pay my bills and have fun. But it's more or less along the lines of, I have no motivation to create the content I want to create. If that makes any sense, you know? But if I have to end this video by saying anything, it's just, I enjoy what you just play the games you like, not because they're fun, but because you enjoy them. Or like, best way I can describe it, right? Here's a really good way of saying it. Play a game because you enjoy it, not because you have to. That's why I have been taking breaks from games like Destiny. I was burnt out. I will straight up say I was burnt out. I kind of only forced myself to play on whenever there was a new act drop, because new story. Maybe I'll at least like it a little bit more. I didn't. But literally, and that literally this season was kind of dry, or episode, excuse me. It was very dry. But that being said, I'm still excited for what's coming up next in gaming as a whole. We have GTA 6 comes out this year. GTA 6 comes out this year. When the first three GTA 5 came out, I think I was only 12, 13. We have games like, presumably Marathon's coming out this year. This year for games is so good. And there's so many games I want to try out. There's so many games I want to reach out and do. I want to try Monster Hunter really badly. As much as I know it is a weird mess of a game right now, I do want to try Helldivers 2. I want to branch out and do PlayStation exclusives when I can afford a PlayStation and can afford to do content on games that are PlayStation exclusive, because my PC can't run PlayStation games. No way in hell. Hell, maybe even if even then it's one of those things where when it comes to PlayStation games, I'd rather play it on controller anyway. I'd rather play a game on controller than I play it on PC. Than play it on keyboard and mouse, rather. So, basically, in summary, I'm excited for games, but I'm just hoping my motivation to play a lot of those games comes back. I'm excited, to say the least. I'm very excited to see where this year takes me. I'm excited to see where the channel is going to go, because as of me recording this video, while a lot of my content has been doing too well, my subscriber count's been doing decently well, and I'm not one to care about numbers too much. Obviously, if you say you don't care about numbers, you're lying. But we're getting close to 600. We're a little under 3/4. We're a little over 3/4 way. We're at 577. If we hit 750 by like the summer, I'd be so happy. And if we get 1K by Christmas, I would lose my mind. I have so much passion and want to be able to create content and make this at least a side career so I can make money and be able to pay my bills and not have to worry about it. But honestly, some days I just wonder if I can even do that, you know? And you guys give me that opportunity has been great. If you guys want to support me in a more personal way, there is a Ko-fi link in the description. You also have the opportunity, if you drop by any stream or good luck at any stream bot, you can also support me through Streamlabs as well. I prefer Ko-fi because they take a little bit less of a cut than Streamlabs does. And if you do want to go do a direct donation thing directly to me, best way to do that is contact me through the Discord server. That's the easiest way to contact me. You can also contact the other social media, but due to the way filtering works on a lot of social media, best bet is to just go through Discord. Alternatively, excuse me. Your best bet is to also go with something like Instagram Threads type thing, but again, filtering. I'd say best bet if you want to contact me in any way for like supporting me outside of Ko-fi, Discord. If you want to support my content, leave a like, subscribe. If you don't like the content and you don't want to stick around, you can always unsubscribe. I won't be offended. It'll hurt my feelings a little bit because I did something that somebody didn't like, but I tried my best. If you want to see a specific type of content, please let me know. If there's any type of content you want me to see, I want to branch out and do less gameplay and more game-oriented, not like reaction-based content. I don't like doing that. I'm thinking of stuff along the lines of, like, not necessarily tier lists, but like top 5-based stuff. Doing stuff along the lines of, like, I know there's a game called Rankdle, and like one that's similar to that, where it's like wallpaper-esque stuff, or like game Wordle type thing, stuff like that, where it's still gaming oriented. It's just more testing my knowledge. And if you're interested in doing any form, if you or know any other creators who are interested in wanting to have anyone on, say my name. I'm not saying you have to, but hey, I'm willing to take part in more creator-based things. I'm trying to become less introverted. So, yeah, I'll see you guys next video. Let us know what to make. Everybody, stay safe. See you guys tomorrow with more Black.